How you doing today? My name is Bo Dake, and this is for PS411. I will be doing a role play of a UAE financial leader, or a financial advisor, rather, to the prince, or to one of the princes of UAE. That right there. Hopefully you can hear me. Okay, the economic system referred to as the Islamic economics is bad for business in the UAE. During the next few minutes, I will attempt to persuade you to see my point of view on the dead-end street that is Islamic economics. We live in a great country, and due to our economy, more specifically the economy of Dubai, it is one of the most powerful countries in the world. So, like a machine that is not broken, there is no need to modify or fix our current economic system. Using our current system, our economy has risen at roughly 11% per year since 1988. That is mainly due to the hard work of all of you people. These statistics can be viewed and more directly reflected on Dubai.AVI, as well as other economic growth charts around the world. You may ask yourself, what is my angle? Or what is my priority as your country's leader's representative on the economics of our country? My priority as the economic advisor of the UAE is the further advancement of the country as a whole on the grand scale of global community as well as global market. I'm a Muslim, and much like all of you, I follow the holy words of the Quran. But thinking from a standpoint of a leader, I must think of what is best for my country, not my own selfish ideals. So without further time wasted, I will finish my introduction. Our economy is close to being as perfect as viewed in comparison to other countries, and such should not be changed to the Islamic economics, which is just too similar to other economic systems which have failed or have proven to be less effective. I will begin by giving you an overview of what Islamic economics actually is, or what I understand it to be. Forgive me, but this is merely an overview, and due to time constraints, I will not go into depth with its inner workings. But I will give some good points followed by far more bad points. Islamic economics. Human beings are created with inborn needs and wants. Since day one on this earth, experience showed that fulfilling these needs and wants require a certain cost in terms of sacrifices by human beings. The effort spent in using available resources for production and distribution is the human approach to make God-given natural endowments suitable for consumption, or to solve what we call the economic problem. The economic problem is not even closely solved by the system of Islamic economics. The economic problem lies then in the reality to be able to consume goods and services one wants. One has to give up certain resources. Tit for tat. Or this for that, rather. Excuse me. In other words, available resources have alternative uses that compete on these resources, and human beings have to decide what to produce. Similarly, there are different methods of production one may choose from, and humans make the decision as which of these alternative methods is to be used. This particular definition of the economic problem is pulled by the research completed by Dr. Mansour Kaf, a very well-respected economic researcher and writer. On the other hand, as we as a country are mainly comprised of Muslims, I should add a quote from our holy text. God created men and women and secured them as well as for other creatures. sufficient amounts of resources for their sustenance. There is not a moving creature on earth, but its sustenance is on Allah. That's 11:6. And how many creatures that carry not their own sustenance? Is it God who feeds both of them and you? Therefore, in spite of scarcity of resources, God provides sufficient sustenance for every creature. This combination of scarcity and sufficiency is essential to the Islamic concept of the economic problem. It is also related to the fundamentals of the Islamic approach to the solution that lies in the human effort that is needed to be expended in finding the sustenance God provides. As a system, the system of Islamic economics has been compared with the socialist and capitalist economic systems, and has been found to be far more superior to both of these systems by Dr. Muhammad Shahri. He goes in great detail with his determination to discredit both of these systems, and he has several valid points by way of property ownership and distribution of wealth, and competitiveness would actually be the worst portion that he sees. Distribution of wealth, communist. Islamic economics have several salient features. 1. Allah is the sustainer. 2. God is the real owner of everything, and man is merely a trustee. 3. Everything is created for the service and use of man. 4. Concept of halal and haram. 5. System of sadaqah and sagat. The other is prohibition of interest, ban on hoarding of wealth, saving, policy of moderation, gluttony, condemnation of monasticism and materialism, as well as equity, not equality. The difficulty with this approach, economics, is that it does not provide sufficient incentives for innovation. Using the Islamic economic system, there is often limited reward for those who could help others become more efficient, such as companies that go by auditing other companies, telling them efficiency doctors is what I would call them. If a person is not allowed to own the factory of production, say this since for Donald Trump, take him for instance. If you're not allowed to own the factors of production, there's not really much incentive to grow. Going by Islamic economics, he can only retain what he himself produces. He cannot accumulate the capital required, if he owned the rest of it, to build a better factory or design a new product and incur the expense necessary to develop it for widespread use, R&R projects and whatnot. So all the best ideas must be funneled through the state using the system of Islamic economics, and must be implemented by people who in turn receive little reward for doing anything beyond what is expected of them. For instance, a factory worker knows what's going on within his factory. The machine that he's operating, if he somehow found a way to make it better, and what kind of incentive does he have to share that idea? He could just keep on working. If the priority is dividing a naturally occurring bounty fairly, wheat for wheat, to give an example, this system may have some supporters. The system I'm referring to is Islamic economics, not our current system. But if you need to create something more than what already exists, then the system will underperform systems with more incentives for innovation and risk. It's obvious which one I'm talking about. Keep in mind, that all of these findings, minus the previous statement about the lack of competitive attitude, are gathered by a committee of people with PhDs as well as economic theorists that have a vast knowledge of the system that we have discussed here today. So, concluding my speech, however brief it may have been, to inform you that the people of the United Arab Emirates, we will not be changing its economic system and will remain our current free system. Thank you, and have a great day.